start from scratch. Kill all that. Okay, so I'm gonna go from scratch and show you what you have to do from the jump off. So yeah, back to that move. Shift, Command, 5. It's gonna get you to your recording. And what we're doing is I pulled up the sampler in Logic. You go to your menu, pull up sampler. So what I did earlier, I'm gonna start recording here. Boom. What I did earlier was I took one of my beats that I made, and I'm going to go to that beat. I got that shit all in. That ain't no good. I fucked up a little bit. But that's alright, because that's why a nigga be doing 2 angles. You have to have them 2 angles just for them types of moments. Alright. So yeah, I use one of my songs, and I'm gonna take that song and I'm gonna sample it. So now you can do this 2 ways. You can either go in here to zone, and when you click zone, this little area comes up. Now in this area, it tells you select. It tells you select the zone or choose an audio file from the file menu or drag an audio file here. So if you're gonna do it like that, that's what that's your choice. I'm gonna show you the way I did it because I put the song in here. I'll find the song, boom, pull it in, and Logic Pro like to access download, boom, boom, boom. So I'm gonna select that one, and it's gonna upload. All right. So once it pulls in, you gotta find what you want. So this is where you get to the parameters. These parameters right here, sample start. See what I'm saying? You see the bar moving. Sample start. I want this from this point over to this, because that's the end of the thing where the sample starts to get cracking for me. And that's what I need. Now I'm going to test it off of this keyboard. Let me go ahead and select the zone, because of course you go to mapping, and that's how you select the zone. And the sample is actually over here. Put it on C2. And that gets you there. So now I can tune this up. I can play it for as long as I want, but gotta make sure. So what I wanted to do was reverse that sound. So I'm gonna click reverse right here, and it's gonna go from there. Now at this point, you gotta figure out how long you want your loop to go and how you want it to be set up. I need to just go a little bit faster, so I'm gonna tune it up. Alright, so I know the beginning I didn't have enough on that beginning. And you can always zoom in right here. I want it to be a little bit more space right there, so going like that. This right here will allow you to, after you alright, so since I have that point over here, I'll cut it off over here. Right there, and that's pretty much what's gonna give me my loop. So that's now you go in here, you double click or right click, whatever you got going on your computer, and you can hit this right here, which is crop sample. Crop sample is going to delete the rest of that sample because I pulled in a whole song. I don't need that. So that's gonna help me save up space on this song. Hit crop sample, and now it's just that I'm dealing with. So if you're not as good as you would like to be yet, what you do is you leave space to work with, so that way you don't end up cutting it off, and then now you don't have anything to work with because you killed what you actually need, and you still might need to make adjustments or whatever. So now, okay, so I can go ways. I can even come over here and find a better point. I can come over here and find a better point if I want to. But this is all the mechanics of finding your sample and getting it right. When you are trying to learn how to do the sample, you want to make sure that that's something that you do. You have to pay attention to that, and you got to be that detailed. And that's why, you know, when you ask somebody for these beats and they look at you crazy, it's because they got to go through all this work. So that's why I'm showing y'all how to do it for yourself. All right, boom. So that's a full loop. I'm going to take it up here. And on this part right here, I've already got my tempo set to 175 because that's what it matches. And if you want to check it, just press play. Okay. Sound a little bit stupid right now, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go on and adjust this. I have to speed up the video for y'all, but hold on. Where my shit at? Boom. So right there, I press play, you can hear the metronome. So you know you gotta tune that. Alright, bring it down. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so I'm gonna settle with 149. Alright, so after you get that loop in there, you can embellish it any way you want to, but the goal is to first get that to fit, you know what I'm saying, to your little 4-bar that you're getting ready to create. I like to work with a 4-bar when I'm dealing with a sample, because I can create around it. I can repeat it, do whatever I want with it. So basically, I'm gonna set up this 4-bar to work inside of that sample. Scroll over and put that in there. And now, and then so if what you did was off beat, you can always hit Q to quantize, and it'll set it on point. Now you got that in here. If I wanted to make this go longer, I can make it half the time. And right now it's going with the loop. You get the point. I can make it go double time as well. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you change and adjust your sample like that on time and on beat with this right here. As long as you have this right here, which is flex time selected, flex time is always going to give you that capability to work with the sample and stretch it and do all the types of stuff with it. It's still going to stay on beat. And then this button right here, of course, follow tempo, is going to make it so that if you change the speed of it, you'll still keep it. You'll change the pitch or whatever, but it'll stay on beat. So it's up to you. One shot is basically so you can click that button and you can tap it once and it'll just play instead of you holding it down. If you deselect it, then it's gonna go up. And then let's see, sample start. Of course, that's adjustment. This right here, if you take this and you move it, it's basically a fade. You see how it's got the caret on it, and it shows you when you slide it over, it would make the beginning of the sample, and you can see it actually, the volume starting to diminish. It's basically, you know, how you want it to come in. So if you got something that's like poppy and clicky, you can hit that, slide it over, and it will bring it in where the volume kind of fades in, and you can get rid of all pops and clicks. I do that a lot with my vocals, so make sure that just to make sure that when it does come in, when the recording comes in, it dampens the beginning of it, and you don't get any pops and clicks or any hissing that is sudden. It makes it sound kind of natural. So same as the end, it's got that on the end. Length, that's of course the whole sample. Fade in and fade out, that's gonna be these two. Loop start, that's where you start the loop, and you can set this thing to loop or not. Let's see, end, length, this is start, stop, start, stop. And then mode, so no loop, forward, reverse, alternate, play to end on release. So you have all these things in different ways that you can play it when you want to set your sample up. Edit, auto loop, retune. Retune is basically setting it to a standard that you designate. Reanalyze transients and tempos, it's more for beat loops. And it will go in there, and then once you hit that button, it's actually gonna go in there and reprogram it and have everything set, so you can change those parameters after the computer figures out and knows it. It'll know everything from the tempo, how loud each one of the transients are, and then it'll allow you to adjust those things individually as well. I told y'all about crop sample, double click, right click, auto loop, retune, or a crop sample. When you crop the sample, that's basically cutting out the section of the sample that you want to work with. And then your zoom, snap. That's basically if you're going to be working with the beat and you're going to be making edits within that beat, and you want to set the snap to go with the tempo of the song. You can choose one of these and it'll be in there. I'm a little bit more advanced, so I don't use it. And then, as far as this zone, this area right here, zoning is basically, if I wanted to make this, you see how it's set over a certain amount of keys? Okay, so when you take one sample, you can set it out over all the keys if you wanted to. And when you do that, that allows you to take a sample, and you can even do that with just like a sound. Like I could do hit a glass and then take that sample, bring it in, and set it across all the keys, and that's going to give me a whole keyboard if I wanted to. Or I can just set it to one key and then do the same thing with that. This is, the height of this is actually the volume. And when you're doing advanced sampling doing advanced sampling, you can create a whole keyboard by taking this sample and bringing it in multiple times. You see these right here? These are volume zones. Each one of these is a zone. And on each one of those volume zones, you could bring this same sample in and set it to play at a certain velocity. So you could say like, I'll sample something and I'll hit it softly, and I'll say that that's the first zone. Then I'll hit it a little bit harder, and everything within this zone, like depending on how hard I hit the keyboard, that's going to fall within this range. And it's going to sound different because I'm going to hit it harder, and of course it's going to give you a different sound. And that's how they be making those keyboards that you get, when you got the guitar samples. They hook you up, and every time you hit the guitar, it sounds different at a certain velocity. And when you hit that thing and the velocity goes off, you know what I'm saying, it gives you a different sound. That's how you get the more natural sounding keyboards, by stacking up the different sounds and sets. All right, back to the thing. You know what I'm saying, sometimes I like to go into a tangent, you feel me. But yeah, so like this, I'll show you a little example. See how I went on to C3 and it didn't take? because I didn't cover that. Like that. Bring them back down. And now it only belongs to that key. And then I can also, if I don't want to stretch that sample out, bring in other samples, creating a whole sample board. And that's a whole nother thing. But that's how you do it. And then this grouping is how you work the other part. But I'll hook y'all up with another video for that type of stuff, man. But yeah, hit me up. You got any questions or suggestions? Let me know. You know what I'm saying? Leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit your boy up. Peace.